So even though I'm not all that concerned about AI and LLMs taking developer jobs, I am very concerned about how these tools are going to be used in business and society and in government. Now, case in point, here is an article announcing LinkedIn's great achievement of reaching 1 billion users and also the launch of their AI tools for paid members. And let me explain why I think this is a problem. So starting on the supply side, there are a lot of companies that use software to receive and filter applications. And the filtering goes through various algorithms and matching things that aren't really public, and most companies don't really understand how they work at a fundamental level. So you're getting all these applications in, and a lot of them are never even being seen by humans. And this is one of the reasons why applying for jobs is such a crapshoot. People are like, oh, I sent out 300 applications and I never got a single interview and I never got a single rejection letter. Well, chances are your resume and your application is being caught somewhere in the automated funnel and discarded. A human is never seeing it. So you're not being rejected by a person, you're being rejected by a bit of code that doesn't care about you at all. And this is kind of a problem, and this is why you see advice from people like, hey, when you're searching for jobs, if you're even close to being qualified, just submit your resume, hit the apply button, because they're basically encouraging you to play the lottery. And it's unfortunate that that's what these tools have led to. And for years, we've already had resume writing services and resume optimization services, and you can pay people to go through your resume and kind of optimize it for these systems and keywords and things like that. You're basically doing SEO on your resume for these applicant systems. And that's bad enough. But on top of that now, I come across this article from LinkedIn, and down here in the article, they state that they are launching a new AI feature that can tell a user who may be plowing through dozens of job postings whether they're a good candidate based on the information in their profile. The system can also recommend profile changes to make a user more competitive for a job. And the tool is designed to help users go from what used to be just seeing a job and feeling insecure to being able to make tremendous progress in just one session, all the way towards an interaction. So let me tell you why this concerns me. Because LinkedIn is already in the background filtering candidates and making suggestions on those candidates based on who hits the apply button. And for me, this is a big concern because now LinkedIn is controlling both sides of the equation. They're representing the employer and offering to help them filter and collect applications and rank them. And they're also offering to help the candidate by making their profile more attractive to the filters that they've set up on the other side. So my concern is that there's an incentive now for LinkedIn to basically become a pay-to-win provider, where if you're a member and you're paying $40 a month, you're going to get pushed into those application pools and get a higher ranking than somebody who's equally or more qualified but doesn't have the money for a membership. And this is where I'm really curious how government, regulation, society at large, how are we going to use these tools and how are we going to restrict them? Because these models are only as good as the data that you give them. And if the data you give them has bias in it, it's going to reinforce that bias. So I can absolutely see a service looking at a company and saying, hey, I want more people like this team because the people on this team are really successful. And if those people all happen to be white males from Ivy League colleges, guess what kind of profiles you're going to get? So if diversity and inclusion is important to you, you have to really be careful about how you set these things up and really understand what they're doing. And I can guarantee you that the average recruiting firm and the average HR team does not have any idea how this stuff is working. I mean, it's practically a meme right now in technology where job ads will ask for 5 years of an experience in a technology that's only been around for 2. Now, the thing this doesn't change is I'm going to keep banging the drum on networking. Networking is a superpower. If you're applying to jobs at companies, you need to try to connect with people at those companies and get your name and your profile in front of an actual human being. That is always going to give you more success than just hitting apply automatically and heading on to the next position. You also need to be taking the time to attend in-person and virtual meetup groups and conferences. Get out there. Interact with people. I know it's hard. IT people stereotypically are introverts, but if you get out there and interact with people and use networking and use connections the way a salesperson would, you will have a lot more success in your job search. But let me know in the comments below, how do you feel about the current job search situation and firing off your resume into these applications and having no idea how it's being weighted, how it's being processed, or if a human ever even sees your application? And how do you feel about companies starting to capitalize that and wanting to charge you to optimize you for these filters that they've set up in the first place? Let me know, and happy coding.